So welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is a live show with live people having a natter in chat. It's recorded for Ustream.tv and also for YouTube for people to watch at their leisure. I've purchased, the Amazon Gremlin has made me purchase a beautiful set of new Derwent watercolour pencils. But I have difficulty getting tin lids off, and as much as I love this tin, these babies are going into my Derwent art bag. I have my original set. I'm going to do a comparison in the next video, but I just wanted to show you how I store them. So in the art bag you have the clips that they fit in, or you can take them out and flip them like I do. So I keep them in colour order. I just take the white, which is number 72, they're numerical these as well. I take the 72 and I put it at the palest instead of it being at the end. I suppose with it being a light grey you could leave it there, but I like it here. I don't actually use it very often, which is probably why it's the longest pen there, but pencil there, but I don't use that. So apart from that, I leave them in that kind of order. So I love this, but again it's a tray that I'm going to drop, and I don't really want to drop my wonderful new Derwent watercolour pencils. So you need 3 sides, and of course if you have 2, you have 2 strips. So I've got 2 spare, and I'll go through what's in my Derwent in my watercolour art bag later. So this is the end run of the Inktense. I'm going to have to be a bit careful because I need to know the difference. So I'm going to put them in order really quickly. So we need to take the white and pop that in first. And then I'm just going to take these and put them in here. And I'm a bit of a sad girl because this is so nice. It holds 2 pencils. It protects both ends. And they don't turn round and they don't fall out. These are a little bit thicker because they've had these are very old as well, so these are fatter. But normally they're going to a little bit, but I need that for my hands, and I'm not going to chuck it about. But they don't move about too much, so I'm going to put these in numerical order, as I say, apart from number 1. But they're so easy to get in and out. And I must say, a bit of a sad girl, but I do like to look at the colours, because the thing with the Derwent watercolour pencils, unlike the Inktense, is normally what colour is at the end is what you get. I'll just zoom in a bit. So if you want a yellow, what you can do is you're looking at your yellows. And then if you want a cool yellow here, you go this way, and if you want, it's a little bit flashed out, it shouldn't be, but it is, a little bit. And if you want a warmer orangey yellow, I go that way. So I've got deep cadmium, and I've got like a lemon cadmium and a zinc. So these are cold, good for greens, and these are good for oranges. And of course, next on the colour wheel is an orange. So there's the orange, there's Madachrome, and there's deep chrome. Now these are, as I say, in numerical order, so we've got 1 to 72. So we've got 2 or 3 cold yellows, 2 or 3 warm yellows, we've got some cooler oranges, and then we've got some warm oranges. So these are like tertiary colours. So it's a very good set. And then we have some cold yellow, some cold reds, which are orangey reds, vermilion. So if you think you recognise some of these, Geranium Lake, the lakes and the vermilions and the cadmiums, these are professional watercolour masters. They are Winsor & Newton colours. It's about the pigment, and the pigment is named to give you a rough idea. Now different companies of different watercolours make different, slightly different kind of recipes, if you want, for a better word. But you'll probably find that these will, to some extent, give you a good idea if you're into watercolours. And these are professional watercolours. You can do washes, you can do anything you can do out of a tube or a pan, you can do with these. And you can do more, you can splatter, you can do anything with these. They're wonderful. And you don't have, I've got 72 colours. To buy 72 tubes of paint would be really, really expensive. And because they're really good quality and they're light fast, they go a long way. I mean, I've had my others for quite a long time. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh, I can look at the number, can't I? And I normally find that works quite well. Now the end one is a little bit squidgy, but it does okay, it works. So we've got cold yellows, warm yellows, cooler oranges, warmer oranges, ready oranges, then we've got ready pinks, then we've got pinks, and then we've got purples. And of course that will sit in your art bag. So next to it is the next one. And that will be the cooler purples. So we've got a red violet lake and a dark violet. And then we get light violet and blue violet. So we're getting to paler bluey purples. Delft blue, ultramarine, they're purpley blues. And then we get to smalt blue and cobalt blue. These are getting colder. They're not the coldest, they're a mid blue, so they're not really a purple and not really cold, but they're getting there. Then we've got spectrum and light blue, they're good for skies, so they're getting colder and cooler. And then we've got Prussian and sky blue. And then last but not least, one of my favourites is indigo. So never use a Payne's grey, although there is a grey. If you want to put a cool shadow on anything, use indigo, it's fantastic. So as much as I say I love this tray, it has to go in the tin. I will keep the tins because my daughters will probably end up with these pencils. Then we've got Oriental Blue and Kingfisher, so we're getting a little bit more unusual colours now. We're getting teals and turquoises, and then we have turquoise green and turquoise blue. So we're having these wonderful colours. Then we've got the jades, what I call fake colours, but they're wonderful. And then we have bottle green and juniper, so again getting a little bit back into our leaves, into our natural leaves, so they'd be quite good for landscapes. Mineral green, water green are good greens for cold water. Emerald green and grass green, and those went in that little bit easier. So then we have the purple blues, the blue greens, the green blues, and then we have the greens. So we flip that over for the last section, and we have May green, again very bright green, and then we go into the sap green, and I love sap, cedar and olives. One of my favourite colours. And then we have a bronze, so that's kind of like a dark olive, a browny olive. It's not, and then we have sepia, again a lovely, wonderful colour for backgrounds and for things. Van Dyke browns. So we've got some. These are colder browns. Now I normally do it the other way around, but I'm going to be in numerical order. Raw umber, and then we've got brown ochre. Now sometimes, if it's a watercolour, I will put the brown ochres together. Then we've got the siennas and the golden browns, so we're getting paler and we're getting warmer. Burnt yellow ochre and copper beech. Again, if you want some really nice highlights on some bark, they're quite good. Venetian red and burnt sienna, we're getting warm. These are warm reds and warm browns, ready browns these. And then we do have burnt carmine. Now I normally put that somewhere else, but I shall leave it there. Burnt carmine is wonderful. Again, if you have a red, but it's got to be a pinky red, like a cherry or a mushroom, something that's a kind of a warm red, a pinky red. You can have some fantastic shadows and low lights by adding a little bit of burnt carmine. instead of grey or black. Or a touch of its complementary colour, that'll do it. So then we have chocolate, which of course, who wouldn't like a pencil called chocolate? We have ivory black, and we have blue grey and gunmetal. So again, they're cold greys. And then we have French grey. Now French grey is I think a warm grey. And then we have a silver grey. I think French grey is kind of a warmer colour. I like French grey. And that's number 72. Sorry, 71. 72 is white, but again I've popped it over here. So white's over here. So I'm just going to get rid of this noisy tray. So love these, absolutely adore these. So they are a little bit looser only because I've stretched this. Now these are the same size and they're not falling out. The only reason is this particular set, I had 2 Derwent art bars, 2 triangles, and I stretched them. But all the others are the thin pencils and they do not come out. It's just that particular, this one and this one I've used for something else, but they're still not going to come out too much. They're still in there. So that's why I like to have a Derwent art bag for different things. In the other bag I have my Neo Colour 2s, and they are fatter crayons, and I have 2 in each one. So you can just about get away with putting all your water-based medium, all your pencils and crayons, this is scratching around and looking, which is wonderful and creative. If you're streaming live, it gets a bit noisy. It's a wonderful creative sound. I love it. My kids love it. But I tend to want to find my pencil there and then. So they're all in order. My gorgeous new Derwent watercolour pencils. And they are next to my originals. So if I pan out very quickly, you'll see that that will sit in my Derwent art bag. With all my other watercolour pencils. So this is the Derwent art bag. It has a strap on the top, and I love this because it has a strap on either side, and it does have I normally take the straps off, but I've left this one on because this is the one that I will take with me. Now you could put water things in here, paintbrushes, but if you're away, I normally if I'm in the house, I will put things in here. But if I'm going away, I put them in this gorgeous, big, massive pocket here. I have my Prismalo watercolours. And I have a set of original Caran d'Ache Prismalo that I've acquired along the way. And again, I have my Derwent. So I've got my Derwent Inktense there. And at the back of one of these, and they do go into the clip, but it's a bit difficult for me to do at the moment. So we want the white one there, that one goes there, and then this one is the next one. So when you open it up, you've got all those, oops, sorry, I've done that way around. We've got from yellow, white, yellows, oranges, reds, pinks, purples, blues, blue greys, greens. And then on the back we have the olives, the browns and the greys. And I use that particular, and I call it my palette. It's a palette. You know, they're all in order. Instead of being a round palette going right round, it's a palette. I use that for when I do acrylics, oils, watercolours. I always work in that colour order because it's just easier. And then last but not least, my original babies that I've had for 20 years, maybe, not more. And again, white, all the greens, all the blues, all in one row. And then I know that, that's slightly different, that one. I'll swap that actually, I think I'll swap that. But at the back, I have my Derwent Graphitint because there's only 24 in the set. So these are all my watercolour pencils, and they're all professional. The Derwents, I know every single one is light fast. Some of the other ones I'm not quite so sure about. And they all fit in here. And that's an awful lot of pencil. Now I know one set is doubled, but that's a lot of watercolour completely stuffed in there. And then you could just pop your watercolours and pencils, watercolour brushes, or your little pot of water, and you can pop them in there. And it's a huge big pocket, is that. Now I label mine because mine are all identical, but you can actually paint these. It's canvas, so you could paint it. Right? But I have a little label that says Inktense and watercolours, and I have my Neocolor 2s, and I have all my water-based crayons in another one. Again, you know, I had them in a tray, I couldn't find them, and they were bashing about, and Neocolor 2s do contaminate each other very quickly. And then the last one, I have my Derwent pastels, my Derwent pastel pencils, and I have two sets. I have a set of 90, an old set, and I have a new set, and there are some slightly different colours, but not too many. So I have 3 art bags, and I absolutely love them. So it can sit like this, and this will go in a drawer, or it'll hang up behind a door. So you've got 3 of these, but if you want to go away, you could take these out and leave them and put other watercolour things in. So you could use it with sketchbooks. Some I've used it before. Some colour books go in, and it has a strap at the back to hold a sketchbook. But because I've got quite a few in there, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 sleeves doubled, and they have a shoulder strap. But all the pencils are protected, and yet if you want to colour, you can open it, and you have all those in one sitting. You can see all the colours together. So that's my Derwent art bag with my Derwent watercolour pencils. Thank you for watching.